Hello, all, and welcome to the follow-up to our first episode of Equity Crowdfunding Radar, where we highlighted Virtuix. Now, I'm not going to do a follow-up for every video, but there were a few key things I wanted to call out for the first episode. Firstly, I wanted to thank everyone who commented on the YouTube video, as well as all of the discussion going on in the Reddit thread where I cross-posted this, which I'll include in the description below. The three takeaways that I got were that, one, there are some clear high-level gaps, namely outlining market risk and product risk. I'll definitely do that in the future. It makes sense to highlight, is there a market for this, and does this product work? The next thing that I took away was the cap table analysis. Now, cap table analysis allows a person to get a better understanding of the financing. Now, in this particular case, in the case of Virtuix, an analysis will determine or show that early investors are not investing later on, which is a flag. It shows a lack of confidence. Now, I don't know if I'll include a cap table analysis in my high-level Equity Crowdfunding Radar episodes. However, I do think at least including the cap tables for people to do their own analysis makes sense. Let me know. If you have a preference either way, let me know in the comments. Finally, the third takeaway was the difference between novice investing versus people who know what they're talking about is vast. It's equivalent to Sherlock Holmes versus Watson type of investigation. So now let's get into Virtuix specifically. So the key takeaways I got from the comments and all of the discussion in the Reddit thread is the following. In addition to everything I said in my video, there are a number of red flags. Lots of red flags with this company. Some of the risks are fragmented cap table, which we just spoke about. Early investors aren't continuing to invest in the company. This indicates a loss of confidence. Western Technology Investment Company, which is a major player in the funding and financing space, has written down their loans and discontinued the financing. So they're not confident that this company is going to be able to repay their loans. And finally, and maybe one of the most stark red flags for me, early adopters of the technology are jaded with not only the lack of customer support, but with the product itself. So there are people who have used the product who are saying, it's not good. It feels like a bowling alley, like you put your bowling shoes on and it feels really slippery. If you're too tall, it just doesn't work out, like the strides don't align. So there's a lot of people who are not only unhappy with the company, but unhappy with the product itself, and therefore they are not confident in the product and the brand, which is bad because these are the early adopters, right? The people you need to grow your company are not confident with your company. So those are some of the risks. But I want to jump over to the Equity Crowdfunding Radar Reddit thread and highlight a big brain comment here. This is a Sherlock Holmes level comment. Not going to read the whole thing, but let's take a look. I've had a look into Virtuix as well, and I'd not recommend investing. Let me explain what I found. The company did their first Series A investment round on Seed Invest in 2016. There had been doubts about Virtuix at that time already. Skipping a little bit, a presentation by Paul Roquemore identified 13 red flags with this company. Each and every one of these red flags raises serious doubts. And when you consider all of them together, it's very unlikely Virtuix can succeed in its plan to bring the Omni to home users. So I went ahead and looked for this presentation. What did I find? I found it. Yeah, there's a 32-slide presentation that just came out 2 days ago that outlines all of the red flags associated with this company. specifically this raise that they're raising for right now. Now, I'm not going to go into the specifics of all of the red flags, but I will highlight this table of contents here so that you can do your own due diligence. And I'll link to this presentation as well. Okay, I mean, the company is on its last legs financially. They have debt. They're not profitable. All of those are suspicious. Their partners that have funded them previously are not confident. All of them, I mean, all of those factors are red flags for sure. But I'll tell you the biggest red flags for me. One, the early adopters contemn Virtuix and the Omni. Fun fact, I just learned that word when I looked at this presentation. I was like, is this condemn? No, contempt. It means they have contempt. They're holding contempt for this company as well as the product. And red flag number 9, this person is alleging that the CEO is providing misleading information about the company's debt, which is doubly questionable if you consider the fact that the CEO is a former investment banker, or he has investment banking experience. So those are the 2 biggest red flags for me. I understand many companies are operating at a loss. They may have debt. That's less of an issue to me than early adopters not liking your brand and spreading their sentiment amongst other early adopters. And once again, this is not financial advice. This is just a novice perspective. And all of these risks don't necessarily make this a bad investment. This information should be factored when determining whether you have adequate risk tolerance. Like if you're okay with taking this amount of risk compared to other investment opportunities. Personally, quite frankly, I think there are just better opportunities out there with a lot less risk. But that's just my personal opinion. So yeah, I'll link to this in the description. Once again, I appreciate everyone who commented and contributed to the discussion. Feel free to like, subscribe if you would like to participate in more discussions, and head on over to not only the Equity Crowdfunding Reddit, but the Angel Investing Reddit, where there are plenty of folks who are Sherlock Holmes level with their analysis. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you have a good rest of the weekend and happy investing. Bye-bye.